Before I talk about my trip to the Gua Tempurung Caves, I want to give some advice on what people should do for their visit. The caves are a bit far from the main city. Some take grab taxis out there only to get stranded because no taxis are willing to drive out and bring them back. So what I did was ask a few grab drivers how much it would cost to hire them for a few hours and have them wait there. I ended up paying $47 for a round trip. There are 4 tiers of tours. If you plan on doing just 1 and 2, your only concern is hiring a driver. Tours 3 and 4, dubbed the wet tours, are much more demanding. For these, I would first suggest buying a headlamp, which is a required piece of gear. You can get one from Mr. DIY, the Home Depot of Malaysia. Mine cost about $5. You may be able to rent one at the site, but this ensures you have it. Second, purchase some cheap knee pads, because you will do a lot of crawling. And if money is no object, buy some waterproof shoes with rubber soles. I wore my sneakers, and I'm still clearing dirt from them a month later. Finally, do not listen to the official Gua Tempurung Facebook page. It said I had to make a reservation at least a week in advance. Playing it safe, I contacted them and made a reservation. But when I arrived on my appointed date, no one was there to greet me. When I sent my contact a text, I didn't get a response until after I was inside the cave. Luckily, I bumped into Luffy, who was visiting the caves with his family. He helped me buy tickets and sign up for the tour. He was so helpful, in fact, I initially thought he was a tour guide. It's important to note, after buying the tickets, you still need to sign up at a nearby table so they can separate you into groups. Also be aware, there are different prices for foreigners and Malaysian citizens. Tours 1 and 2 are pretty standard fare and take about an hour to complete. You walk along man-made paths and view interesting rock formations while a guide explains the cave's history. Mine spoke in Malay, so I had no idea what he was saying. If you don't have any mobility issues or health problems, the wet tours are the way to really experience the Gua Tempurung Caves. On the wet tours, the paths are shrouded in darkness, which is why everyone is required to bring a headlamp. The concrete pavement is replaced by dirt and rocks. You would think being deep in a cave, it would be cold or at least cool, but the heat and humidity was high here too. During the tour, you might run across interesting creatures, like this whip spider I found crawling on the wall. There are also several obstacles you must traverse. The first hurdle is a short but steep incline that you slide down. Being the bravest of the bunch, Luffy went first. The rest of us then following. By the way, I wouldn't recommend wearing nice pants for these tours. We continued along until reaching a hole where we descended into a small cavernous space. We had to crawl out, and as you can see, the tunnels are pretty cramped. Moving on, we reached our next destination, which required us to crawl through water. In some places, words are written on the walls, past warnings from cavers who had died on this trek. Actually, I have no idea what these words say, but that sounded cool, didn't it? Along the tour, there are multiple challenging areas that people must climb through or slide down, including this really long slope. About 2/3 of the way in, sunlight will appear, revealing a small oasis inside the mountain. For some reason, there was also a burning fire, adding heat to an already hot day. Re-entering darkness, we walked through more tunnels and past interesting rock formations. Eventually, we entered a large cavern, signaling the end was near. Bright daylight greeted me at the exit, which is located very close to the entrance. It was pretty cool. I would say it's a pretty unique adventure. I've never been on a hike that was this difficult before, but I was glad I did it. Now it's over and it's time to say goodbye to Gua Tempurung. I think all in all, the whole tour took around 4 hours. Although this excursion cost more than some others around Ipoh, it was easily the highlight of my Malaysia trip. For anyone searching for a little adventure, do the wet tours. They are worth the extra time and expense. Finally, I just want to say thanks to Luffy for being a great help. Hope you and your family are doing well.